Hey, y'all. Looking a little bit fright today because I just got back from a couple-mile bike ride. But I wanted to go ahead and do this video while I was feeling really energized. And it's a beautiful day outside. I'm filming this out on the balcony of my apartment. And today I wanted to address a really awesome message I got from one of my Tumblr followers called Bobbarkerbites, which is a really funny username. So the message says, so I've been surfing the web for hours, searching out information and different opinions on body, the fat acceptance movement, and I'm very happy to have stumbled upon your blog. After years of trying to conceal my weight, it has been only recently that I considered questioning society's opinions on weight and body image. Why do you think society is so against having a little or a lot extra? And what do you think we can do to find balance and acceptance for all body types? Okay, so that's a really excellent question. I think we kind of think that these sort of negative ways that we view our body are pretty new. A lot of people point to the 60s and when Twiggy was one of the big famous models, and that's kind of where this super thin, super sleek look came from. But in reality, body image has always been a big deal. Back in the medieval ages, it was actually viewed very positively for someone to be fat because that meant that you were very wealthy, that you had time to just sit around and eat. And people who were outside working and working as slaves and all these kind of things were very thin, and that meant that you were poor. In the same way that being pale used to be considered really gorgeous because that meant you didn't have to be outside working in the sun all day. And now being tan means that you're wealthy because you have the time and money to just sit around in a tanning bed or go to the beach or do whatever you want to do. And so I think there's a lot of really societal, structural issues of why we view bodies the way that we view bodies and relate them to wealth and status. In addition to that, I think there's a lot of money to be made on people's body hatred. The weight loss industry actually brings in more money in the United States each year than the porn industry, which is, I mean, that's just, when you think of how much money porn makes, it's actually kind of obscene. But so there's a lot of money to be made on marketing and making you feel bad about yourself so you continue to buy diet pills, diet products, diet videos, exercise videos, and all these different things that are supposed to help fix you. But in reality, if they fixed you, then you wouldn't need their products anymore. So most of them really don't work. And in fact, a lot of the health products that are out there, you know, it turns out later on that they didn't realize were making people sick, like Fen was killing people. But when that was on the market, people were taking that like crazy because they were dropping weight. But it turns out it was giving people heart attacks and things and very unhealthy. So I think there's a lot of monetary reasons too why it's good to promote people feeling bad about themselves, and not just the diet industry. When you add into that the beauty industry as a whole, you know, telling women that they need mascara and foundation and 9 tons of hairspray to feel pretty, it's just big business. I mean, if you look at me today, I wear a lot of makeup, so I'm not dissing the makeup industry. I love makeup. I was a makeup artist for a theater for a while. Today, I'm only wearing mascara. As a natural ginger, you really can't see my eyebrows very well without makeup, but I'm not wearing them today. And so again, there's a lot of money to constantly be made off of making people feel bad about themselves and feel like they need something more, whether it's makeup or weight loss or plastic surgery or whatever, in order to be good enough. And so what can we do to sort of change this? I think first you have to start with changing yourself. So the first thing you have to do is start looking at yourself and learning how to love yourself. And so that's sort of the one-person revolution view. If you're interested in doing more, I think you have to work to challenge ideas. And so it's really easy to sort of sit back and let other people talk badly about themselves or about others, and it can kind of be really difficult to jump in and say, hey, that's not okay. But I encourage you to stop people talking badly about themselves, whether they're complaining about their weight or their hair or whatever. When I hear people saying like, oh, I'm so ugly, I wish I had your nose or your boobs, I get that a lot. But when people say things like that, I stop them and I talk to them and say, you know, like, why do you feel that way? And sometimes it's really uncomfortable and awkward. And obviously I wouldn't do this to a random stranger on the street, but, I think you have to put those statements out there. And I think there's a lot of great projects that you can get involved in, mentorship programs. I've been involved in a mentorship program for young women with eating disorders for a few years. Less involved now that I'm in grad school and have no time to think straight. But so getting involved with mentorship programs, if a great way to get involved and really help the next generation is to start doing workshops and talking to young people, get involved with the Girl Scouts, get involved with Big Brother, Big Sister. There's so many great ways that we can start training up the next generation. If you're really involved in the academic side of challenging all this, I encourage you to take some women's studies courses. They now have some fat studies courses at different schools that you can take, and study classes about the media and how the media portrays specifically women. It's getting to turn more towards men's issues as well. We're seeing a really large growth in men with eating disorders and body dysmorphic disorders and things. And so it really has to start with you. And then you can take it as far as you want to take it. And so for me, that's been a huge part of who I am. And I've made it almost a second career to be involved in these issues because I feel very passionately about it. And so doing workshops and taking classes and doing this web blog and all those things, but it's not for everybody. And so if all you can do is change you, that's one step towards making this place a little bit better for people to have a positive body image. And you would be surprised how much just living your life can really influence how other people live theirs. I mean, if they see you being happy and excited about your body instead of sitting around all day making fun of it or downing on yourself and all these different things, that can make a big difference in someone's life. And I know because it made a big difference in my life. And so that's what I encourage you to do today. And keep sending your questions and topics, and hopefully I'll get better at creating these web videos and not being so awkward and trying to remember to look at the camera instead of staring off into space or at that gigantic bumblebee that is flying over my head right now. So, yeah, I'll see you in my next video.